Welcome back to the nomenclature unit, Unit 5 for Chemistry 1. We are on Lesson 3 on ion charges, and this is video number 1. So there are going to be two categories when we go to work on ionic nomenclature. The first one is monatomic. So mon we know refers to one, so this literally means one atom. So that means that we have one atom in the ion. So the ion is just one atom. And these type of ionic compounds, the compound is made of two ions or elements. An example of this, NaCl. So Na is our positive or cation and Cl is our negative anion. So monatomic ionic compounds, one atom in the ion. So sodium ion has one atom, chlorine is one atom. And it could be something like Mn2O7. That would be monatomic also because we just have one type of ion in that. Mn is the only positive. So there's only one particular atom in the ion. The next one is called polyatomic. And here ions are made of more than one element. So an example of this would be something like PO4-3. This is called phosphate. And we have a list of these that we're going to be using later on. So with these, like I said, there is a list of these that we will be using later on when we talk about this. So for us, let's just review a little bit about ions. And ions are nothing more than a charged atom. Cation was a positive ion, and an anion is a negative. So if you remember, cations typically are metals, the left side of the PT. Anions, the right side. So we have metals and then nonmetals. Remember that positive cations are basically groups 1 through 13. So we do have a lot of cations possible. Anions are not as many. So an ionic compound is a cation anion pairing. And it has a neutral charge. So that means that we have to have the correct ratio of positive and negative ions to make it neutral. And if you remember when we talked in a previous video, we said that charges were what we had to deal with. So ionic compounds deal with charges, not prefixes. Covalent has a completely different system of determining their names based on these words. So ionic deals with charges, so we have to worry about charges. Covalent is prefixes. We didn't worry about that. So make sure that you don't mix these up. We've already done covalent, so we're not going to have any prefixes with these. So we're starting anew with a new set of rules. But before we do that, our next video is going to talk about how do we find what the charges of something are. We already know a little bit about this, but there are some tricky parts.